I think we'll be fine. No, we're not going to be fine.
We're gonna die. So. Oh, fucking A! Milk!
You guess?
It says it went live. It says they went live.
It's live. It is live.
Okay. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to the Barcast, where this week's special is called the Band Hammer. Take 2 parts Mountain Dew Voltage with 1 part Mountain Dew Code Red and add 2 full liters of Everclear, because that's how we're going to feel. We have our regular bartenders tonight. We have Anon Pencil.
So scared, right?
We have Enigmatic Otaku.
Please don't ban me, Knighty Senpai.
Milk. And my name's Flutter Priest. This week we have a very special guest in that we have always taken user-submitted questions, but this is the most requested of all time. We have the site founder of FilmFiction. We have Knighty with us.
Hello.
Knighty, thank you very much for coming on. I'm sure everyone's very excited. But I'll do a quick briefing for everyone who has not joined us before. Welcome to the Barcast, originally the Good HiE Podcast. We take user-submitted guests and then take user-submitted questions and make our guests completely miserable because there are trolls on the internet.
Yeah.
We're streaming right now on Twitch. If you have any questions, go ahead and submit them in the chat, and the lovely Anon Pencil will monitor them and take a look and see what is fit for asking. Pencil, what's an example of a question that you won't relay to our guest?
If you're on there and you're like, hey, Knighty, how big is your penis and what's your favorite thing to do with it? I'm probably not going to ask him that. I mean, I might, but probably not, because I'm going to guess, Knighty, you wouldn't answer that.
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, okay. Well, there's no bad questions then, guys. There's no bad questions in this podcast.
But it's pretty big, right?
Whoa.
Big enough for you.
Yes! Oh, I love it. I love it.
So let's jump
You
straight
love my
in.
penis.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Jumping straight in. Question number 1. Who are you and what have you done for the fandom? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I've done horrible things. Horrible things. That's what I'm here to admit. I've done horrible things. I've created an outlet for horrible people. So, but more seriously, I mean, I guess everyone knows who I am here, so it's difficult for me to answer that without just telling people what they already know. But I would hope what I've done for the fandom is provide a service that, beats the other services around for fan fiction. So that's what I'd hope I've done, really, and hope I've created something that people enjoy using and learn from and make friends. So I guess that'd be my answer.
Thank you for servicing us, but, or something along those lines.
Well, you did succeed, since it's much easier and neater to use than fanfiction.com or net or whatever it was.
Yeah, good.
Yes, definitely. And you'll see that there's definitely a lot of people that correlate with that. And also, I really think it's really awesome about the site that you've created is the massive outcropping of friends that people are able to create in this community. I think the community is more almost, I'm not going to belittle your achievement here. It's awesome, but the community is almost more valuable than the
Oh,
site
well,
itself.
of course it is. Absolutely is. I mean, a site is nothing without the community, really. It's got to be that way around, really. It's like there's loads of terrible sites around with big and decent communities because that's what matters, really. It's just the service has got to be there to facilitate it. But at the end of the day, yeah, it is the community that matters.
Also, I think we all got together because of this website.
It's true.
We are friends who have met IRL now because of this website. So there you go.
Yeah, and I know people who have got married and things from the site. So yeah.
Yeah. So let's ask the questions that everyone wants to ask. How did you get into MLP? How did you get into ponies?
Probably the same way that quite a lot of people did, in that I just saw like a random video on YouTube. I was like, what are these? It was like a PMV, I think, and it was way back. So it was like, I think when I started watching, it was on Sonic Rainbow, which I think is the 16th episode of season 1, I think. So there wasn't really much material around, but yeah, I saw a PMV and I was like, this looks kind of interesting. So I got clicking around, and by the end of the evening, I'd watched 15 episodes. So that's basically how my story went, which I figure, as I said, is probably kind of similar to a lot of people.
All right. Now this question might answer itself a little bit. Maybe your bias will play a part here, but what would you say is your favorite part of the fandom itself? The online community, the fan fiction, the cons, the music, the videos, the animation?
Horrible people.
I don't really know how to answer that, to be honest. I don't think I really have one that I like more than the others. Like, there are some that I don't particularly care for. I don't particularly care for the music side of things. I used to, like, in the first year of watching the show, but can't say after then I really particularly cared about the music side of things. For me, I'd say it's just like it's the people I've met, to be honest, more so than any of the particular pieces of creative outlets that people have done. So I think it's the people for me more than anything.
Awesome. The next question is, if there's one thing that you could say to your followers or your fans, users of the site, your haters, the people that just despise you, the people that say, well, the fix is just to
So my
change
users
this
then,
and the
basically.
code. Yeah. What would you say to them?
I don't know if I'd have the same message for my haters and my fans exactly. I think that might be a different message, to be honest. If I ignore the haters though and just go on all the rest of them, I would just say, thanks for using the site, really, because it does mean a lot to see people getting something out of it. And I definitely remember, as the site was growing, watching the hits go up over the years, and it feels like a real accomplishment. And the good comments that people give about how the site's so much better than fanfiction.net. I mean, I don't really like talking about that, to be honest, because I think it's a bit tacky. Like, even if they're a big site and we're just a little one in comparison, I don't really like sort of shitting on other people's work. So, yeah,
We're tacky, so go ahead.
Hey, I have a public facade to keep up here,
Oh,
Yeah,
fair.
no. It does
But,
make me wonder, have you ever been in communications with like the site administration of fanfiction.net or
No, I know literally nothing about anyone. I can't even remember what the guy's name is who runs it. I remember looking up a while ago, but no, I've never been in communicado with them or anything.
Right.
I do sometimes check out fanfiction.net just because I like to keep tabs on competition. Although nowadays, when I'm keeping tabs on competition, I usually go to Wattpad, to be honest, because that's kind of what I consider the competition for fanfiction nowadays.
Totally fair.
Like, I don't really know specific numbers on them, but I think Wattpad's actually bigger than fanfiction.net nowadays. So,
Totally fair.
Although it's like 99% like 14-year-old girls writing stories about One Direction. So
Does that happen?
I'm not.
Yes,
yeah,
it
yeah. It's like
What?
almost entirely things like One Direction on Wattpad. It's awful. It truly is like the worst place ever.
Why? Why?
Yeah, it's all 14-year-old girls. I'm just gonna slink away.
We need to do the butt touching. I really want to touch Harold's butt. I don't know if that's a One Direction.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what most of them are like. So yeah.
And
Okay.
then they touched butts.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have found NHL hockey fan fiction before, which like ships different line mates together or opposing teammates. But I somehow One Direction fan fiction is more distressing to me than that.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it must be like to read fan fiction about yourself. It must be very weird.
It is. It's happened to me. It's weird.
Well, let's not talk about anti-circle jerking rules on fanfiction. Let's ask the last question. Who is best pony?
That's a difficult. No, I'm just kidding. It's Fluttershy, obviously.
Good man.
Yeah, I was so sure you were gonna say Sweetie Belle.
I
since,
was
you know,
too because of the icon.
Well, she falls under the best filly. You see, best pony is Fluttershy.
Ah, okay. Nah, I totally agree with you. So that said, we're going to jump straight into the questions that were posted in the thread. And we're going to start with a few that I saw pop up in Discord. And so I just threw them into the header here. There are things that I think I hear people talk a lot about on FimFiction.
What you're saying is these aren't at all your questions specifically that you wanted to ask because you really, really want to ask.
No, that's not it at all.
Uh-huh.
So question number one. Everyone wants to know, this comes up constantly as blog questions. How does the feature box work?
Basically, we take all the stories on the site and we shuffle them up randomly, and we dump up the top 7 stories there at the top. No, I'm just kidding. It's a lot simpler than people think, to be honest. It's not really that fancy. I don't really like specifically talking about it because people could try and game it. I mean, it's not very gameable, but it basically looks at views and likes and dislikes and time frame, most importantly. So those will get factored into deciding which stories go up there. Like, for example, there's the popular stories bar on the right hand side. That actually uses exactly the same thing, except it doesn't have the time factor on it. So
that's why My Little Dashie gets to jump back in every now and then.
Well, My Little Dashie never should, because it's way too old. It would never ever end up there unless it got updated, which obviously it doesn't.
We've seen it there every now and then on popular.
When it 100%. Oh, on popular it might. Yeah, sorry.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, popular. Yeah, it will show up. Yeah, because it doesn't have that time factor. So yeah.
Well, I know that Rob Caprid appreciates that because Little Dashie, he loves that story.
I know he loves that story. Yeah, who doesn't?
Everyone loves that story.
Isn't that right, Rob?
Rob's one of our
so much. Rob hates us so
good friends. So we'll move on to question 2 then. How is FimFix's relationship with Equestria Daily? We heard that back in the old times, Equestria Daily almost used to like advertise for FimFix, like come check out FimFix. It doesn't seem like that happens as much these days. So what's that relationship like?
It's never really changed, to be honest. I mean, there was a post that was made when FimFiction launched way back in July 2011. There was a post made about it. But ever since then, there's never been anything specific about FimFiction. It's always just been, implicitly advertised by the fact that people who put their stories up there are pretty much always on FimFiction. So it's kind of advertised, but not specifically, if you know what I mean. It's just by virtue of the fact that all the stories that get posted on there are on FimFiction. So
right, fair, free advertising. Can't complain.
Yeah. Other than that, there's no like special relationship between the two or anything. I mean, I used to have like a link to Equestria Daily at the bottom of the page, but that's not there nowadays. And I guess actually technically EQD does have a link to FimFiction at the bottom of the page, because since I did the design for EQD as well.
That's the link.
Yeah, so there's the link at the bottom of the page which is designed by Knighty, and that links to FimFiction.net. So I guess they do advertise us technically on every page.
I had no idea that you were involved with the programming and design of Equestria Daily.
Yeah, just the design. I redid their design quite a while ago. Honestly, I wish I could redo it again, but it's not my site, and I'm not going to do that again. So, because it's on Blogger, it's just horrible to work with, like truly horrible, and I just never ever want to look at it ever again. But there's things I would love to change about it, but yeah.
So you don't maintain it though, even in its current state?
No, I don't. No, I mean sometimes if Seth has issues, I'll chime in and help him out with various programming things, but otherwise, no, I don't have any influence on it anymore. Although I think I still technically have an admin account, so I think I technically could go and post anything on EQD if I wanted to right now.
That's exciting and tempting and horrifying.
I'm too much of a goody-goody to do anything, I'm afraid. So.
Well, let's move away from tempting questions, because we don't want to be the devil on your shoulder, even though we are. Okay, this is totally a selfish question. I'm going to drop all pretenses. How has FimFix tech stack grown since its inception?
Quite a lot, yeah. I mean, I guess the core of the site hasn't really changed because it's always run on PHP. And so there are parts of the site which are literally exactly what I wrote 6 years ago. Although thinking about it in my head now, frankly, I can't think of anything that probably hasn't been recoded at some point. But way back then it used to be hosted on DreamHost. So DreamHost is a shared host. And I was running on like $5 a month when the site first launched. eventually that became completely impractical. Like the site was just dying all the time. This is way before 502 fiction, by the way. Eventually we moved on to a dedicated host, but it was still pretty much exactly the same thing. It was just on a dedicated host. Then eventually, the site kept getting bigger, and we started getting 502 fiction, and that's when we had to really start investigating how to improve our stack. So I think the first thing we did was, I don't think it was search, but I might as well talk about search anyway. So for search, we use something called Elasticsearch, which is a very powerful search engine used by tons of massive sites. So it's very reliable, it gives great results, and we can do all kinds of fancy things with it, like all the things like related stories and things like related groups, things like that. Those are all powered by Elasticsearch, and that allows us to scale much bigger. And we also have a whole bunch of like other microservices nowadays that Zach has mostly worked on. Like, for example, all the images on the site are hosted on Amazon, and they get scaled by an image scaler that we have on Amazon, and then they get served via Cloudflare, which means they're very low bandwidth for us, and we get all this resizing pretty cheaply. I mean, I say pretty cheaply, it's quite expensive nowadays, but relative to the money that the site brings in, it's all right. What other things do we have? Yeah, we got like email goes through Amazon nowadays. What other things are there I can talk about? I think if I went into anything else, it'd be a little bit too technical for anyone to want to listen to.
Priest wants to listen to that exactly.
I realize pretty much only person I'm like the only person who's like really curious on if you guys are moving slowly but surely over to AWS services, but I realize
I can talk about that.
I'll take a deep breath and set that aside.
No, I can talk about that. We would love to move to AWS, obviously, because I mean it's a lot easier if everything that we did was on AWS, but it's way too expensive. Like AWS is really, really expensive for a lot of things. So that's why we have like sort of bespoke things on it that don't really require a lot of money to run on them, and we actually have advantage to running them on AWS. But the actual site itself would cost like a ridiculous amount of money to host on AWS. We've looked at it before, and I mean maybe one day we will move over there because AWS does keep getting cheaper and better and whatnot, and it might get to the point where it becomes profitable to run it on there instead. But for now, we're not running on AWS. Go on.
I'm gonna go back into hard interviewer mode for just a second to ask a tough question. It'll be yes, no. We won't delve into it.
And then you wipe the drool off your chin, Priest?
Yes. Okay. Is FimFiction in its current state profitable?
Yes. Although, yes, I will not talk about numbers because
that we're not even going to touch that.
No.
So let's move on to a different topic. Move on to number 4. I'll wipe the drool off my chin, get all this out of here. Another question that many of the guests that have came on here have wondered, even some of the mods, Wanderer D, Obsolescence when we had him, they are all really curious. So we're going to ask you directly. How is GenFic coming?
It's coming all right, I guess. I mean, the thing is, I have, to my own fault, way too much pride in my own work. And like, for example, I could pretty trivially add a lot of the stuff that we need for GenFic like very quickly. Like if I didn't care and I just wanted to get it out there, like I could really easily throw together a tagging system that was, as good as something like Wattpad or any of those kind of sites. I could throw that together in probably like a couple of days. Like for example, blog post tagging on the site works about as well as most tagging does on most websites, and that was just like a day's work. So I could throw that together in like a day, and I could get a new domain with whatever name I'm going with, and I could do a lot of that work very, very quickly. But I really, really, really want it to be legitimately good because, as I said, I'm very prideful in what I do, and I have a lot of sort of highfalutin ideas for what I want to do with tagging, and it's just going to take time, to be honest. It's very difficult for me to give an idea on exactly when it will happen because let's see. I think I first announced GenFic like 2.5 years ago now or something. It was a long time ago. Yep. And I'd been saying repeatedly about getting around to it, and it's just taken a long time. So I don't really like to give people false hope about dates anymore. But it's 100% happening because the site will eventually just drop off. Obviously, it can't survive on MLP for eternity. It just won't.
Don't worry, guys. The dragons are coming.
Oh God, fucking damn it, Enigma! You and your fucking dragon tits. You can just stuff those away. Get a binder and stuff them in it, but no one wants to fucking see those. You little piece of shit. Okay.
I wasn't referring to dragon tits, pencil.
No,
Also, I'm pretty sure a lot
dragon-
of people want to see those. So.
Hey, I forgot to say, because I'm an idiot, the drinking word today is film fiction. If you're drinking along at home, start drinking now, because you got catching up to do. Anyway, let's continue before I tell Enigma where he can shove his dick.
So, the next question has a little levity to it. What is your most memorable story concerning this site? I'm not talking about like fan fiction stories.
No, I know. I realize.
Okay.
You mean like drama, basically.
Well, it doesn't have to be drama, because we understand as site admin, you can't really name a lot of names. So it can
that's
be a
the thing I was
positive
going to
memory
say.
as well.
Like a lot of the things like that on the site are kind of drama-y, and those are the ones that you tend to remember. Although saying that now, I can't really think of many that I remember, to be honest, that weren't public anyway. I can't really think of a whole lot of good stories, but I do always remember that I really fucking loved when I did that. What's it called? Film Fiction Gold, April Fools. That will always be my favourite April Fools. Although I don't really know how many people around now were actually around for that, because it was actually like 4 years ago, I think now. I don't know whether you guys were around for that. So
I was not, but
it was a lot of fun. But basically, the site would, like, we pretended there was this new thing called Film Fiction Gold, right? And basically, if your account ID ended in 0, your account was marked as having Film Fiction Gold, but your own account also always showed as Film Fiction Gold. So people would be saying they had Film Fiction Gold, but it didn't show up as Film Fiction Gold to anyone else, and it was just a lot of fun. It was just fucking people like that.
I could see all the arguments in my head. Like, that's some quality trolling.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. And it took people a while to work out exactly what was going on, but they did eventually work it out.
Will we ever see the return of Reddit? Not Redicle.
Wow!
Stop.
Well, I actually did a survey a little while ago because I was looking at doing memberships for the site, and the only reason I didn't follow through on that currently is because it is such a nightmare to do all the things like VAT and dealing with taxes on global sales and things like that. It's just a nightmare, and I just didn't do it because I didn't want to have to deal with it, to be honest. Like, it used to be the case that in the UK, if you made less than £75,000, I think it was, on sales of things, you didn't have to worry about VAT, but some stuff came in and changed it, and if you do online sales now, you basically have to deal with VAT, and it's just a fucking nightmare. So Film Fiction Gold isn't happening right now, but we may be investigating it again in the future. Although if we do, it will never be anything. Well, I guess I shouldn't say never, because I can't promise, but I hope to never make it anything like DeviantArt, for example, where DeviantArt lock a lot of features behind their paywall. I don't really like doing that, so...
I think that's very noble of you.
Yeah, as I said, I shouldn't say never, though, because I don't like making promises I can't keep, but...
Right.
And I see someone in the chat mentioned Stripe, and yes, I had looked at Stripe, but there's still a lot you have to deal with in regards to filing those VATs and stuff. It's just kind of a pain in general, to be honest. So, to be honest, I think I would rather just look at something like Patreon nowadays. I thought about doing a Patreon for the site, but I just haven't really got around to it. And yeah.
I believe that was something that Alex Strazia did with Equestria After Dark when I was a mod over there for a little while.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I know there's a lot of sites which have Patreons nowadays. Like, I would have done it a long time ago, but their terms of service was not clear at all about whether they allowed websites. And for example, like 8chan did one. But the way they got around it was by, like, their admin was making cat videos or something. And it was like, yeah, he was being paid for making quote-unquote cat videos. Definitely not being paid for making 8chan. So there were ways of getting around it, but yeah.
All right, so let's go to the next question. There's a lot to unpack there. I'd love to just like keep going on. It's like, what do you think about like Patreon being used on your site by site creators? But let's step around that and see if that comes up in the chat. Question number 6, last one from me before we get to the other users. What's the most shocking thing to cross your quote unquote desk as far as site content? You don't have to name names, you don't have to do stories, but just the general gist of like, did you not expect ABDL to come onto the site or something like that?
I don't think there's anything that's like particularly surprised me in like a really bad way, because I've been on the internet for far too long for anything to bother me like that. To be honest.
So you're a child of the internet. You're used to this shit.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a 4chan old fag, so I've
Sweet.
been around long enough and I've seen enough shit to not have anything faze me, to be honest. So I don't think there's anything that really shocked me coming across my desk, so to speak. Probably more things that are just unexpected. Like, there's rules that we've had to put in place that, I never considered in the first place. Not like really bad things, but just things that I wouldn't have thought of when I was actually writing up the rules. I'm trying to think of some off the top of my head now. I'm trying
Like the random 5-score universe rule?
Yeah, well, exactly. Things like that. It's like you can't anticipate something like that, and it's kind of difficult to decide what to do about something like that. Most of those cases usually end up being some kind of personal freedom versus site quality overall kind of things. And those are usually quite difficult to make decisions on and usually piss someone off on one side of the matter. So, but
banning role playing.
Yeah, well, exactly, things like that. That's one I never thought I'd have to worry about. But so that's not like a really bad thing though. So I wouldn't say like it was shocking or anything. It was just something I hadn't really considered at the start.
I'm still scratching my head at the thought of Solvor.
I like that.
Oh my gosh! All right, I've taken up enough of our time. Let's jump straight into the other user questions. First question comes in from Majin Siko. Who's a good friend of the cast. No, question number 1. Will you bear my children?
Depends on the quality of his Fluttershy fursuit.
Oh, but the implication here is that you'd be the one who's pregger, so is he a Fluttershy in this case?
Oh yeah, good point. Good point. I misread that. Yeah, I guess we'll have to go with Fluttershy and some kind of weird male preg thing, I guess.
God, baby.
His fursuit doesn't even have hooves. It's just him in tennis shoes.
Oh, that's disgusting. No hooves.
All right. Number 2. Will you help them achieve their full potential?
I don't know. I mean, is he willing to put in the work as well? It can't just be a one-way thing. I need help on this, to be honest. I don't think I can raise our mutant Fluttershy male preg offspring on my own, to be honest.
It's a
I think I need him
satyr.
to help.
Satyr, just so you know.
I'm curious. Once they exit your body and they're newborns, are they like born inside fursuits of their own?
Oh God!
I don't even want to know how it would exit my body anyway.
I was about to say the labor visuals my brain are creating right now are really not all right. So
They just want to look on the outside like they do on the inside.
Oh my God! Stop, please. Next question.
Next question is: will you cry with me when our nest becomes empty?
I guess it depends on how successful they become. I mean, I don't really know if there's much work out there for satyrs or weird mutant offspring, to be honest. But I mean, I guess I'd be upset if they didn't, find a good job. Put it that way.
Oh,
I'm sure they'll find one though. It's fine.
Oh. Okay. Last question from Majin. What's your favorite variety of bagel?
If I'm completely honest, I don't particularly like bagels. Bagels aren't really a big thing in the UK. I mean, I don't even know if there are varieties of bagel over here. There's bagel. That's it. It's a bagel. Maybe I'm talking shit. I'm sure Professor Plum can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong.
Pizza bagel.
Yeah, see, I'm not sure we have anything like that over here. We might do, but yeah, I'm just not a fan of bagels in general. So
I could rant about bagels for days. So let's move down to Skeeter the Lurker, who asks only one question. Did you ever expect the site to become all of this, gesturing out towards what it is today? Signed, Skeeter the Lurker.
No, I guess would be the easy answer to that. I wasn't really thinking about what it could become, to be honest. I think to remember I just didn't think about anything like that. I was just working on something and then it just kind of grew on its own. So I don't think I was really expecting it or thinking about it at all, to be honest.
All right. Now we have some questions from Desh Loon, who asks, if you could, would you?
Depends what the could is, I guess. I'm not really sure how to answer that.
Don't worry.
All my material. It's half an hour in. I don't have any more material. I'm sorry.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine, honey.
You're doing wonderful. The next question is, will we in the future get more perspective tags? Basically the other two, first person and third person.
Yeah, that is something I would like to do. I would like to have those be kind of a special tag maybe or something. I guess it doesn't really make any sense that we only have second person, to be honest. Probably should have added the other two when we did second person. I'm not super sure the exact difference. I mean, at third person, I don't think there's any point in noting that, right? Because like 99% of stories are going to be third person. So I don't think you'd really ever care about having a third person tag. I think I'd probably just add first person if I was going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely think that should be done, to be honest. Honestly, I don't really have a good answer for why we don't have a first person tag, so stay tuned, I guess.
All right, number 3, it's time for you to play some favoritism, unless you choose not to, obviously. Who is your favorite writer on the site?
I guess I'll just go with the writer of my favorite story, so Colin Gardez, I guess.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But if I'm completely honest, I don't really read enough to be a good judge of that anyway, so it's not really a great answer, I'm afraid.
So
that's what Seattle's Angels is for, right?
Exactly. They do that work.
So you haven't read about my drag tits then?
It's time to stop.
I might have done, I don't know.
No, you don't want to. You don't want to. Trust me.
I have my bookshelf secret for a reason.
It was featured for 2 weeks straight.
I know, and it still makes me angry to this day, Enigma.
All right. Moving on, number 4. You already mentioned that you had a favorite story. Which story is your favorite? And they add on and off site, but that's up to you.
Salvation, definitely. So that's Colin Gardner's story, and I pretty much recommend that to anyone who asks me, to be honest, because it's so good. I really should just reread it, actually, because it's so good. It's like my favorite story ever. So, as far as offsite, I guess maybe that means non-fanfiction related things. I don't really read enough. I'm really bad. I hate admitting this, to be honest, because it's like the worst thing to admit as someone who runs a fanfiction site. But I actually, honestly, just don't read very much. So I don't really have a good answer for that at all, I'm afraid. Unless you want me to say Harry Potter, because that's the limits of my literary experience.
See, now you just win in the end, because if you just really like fan fiction, you've literally wrote the best repository ever that people just submit stories to you all the time.
Yeah, that would be pretty great if I was really super into fan fiction still. I mean, I used to be like, I used to be like when I made the site, but I've got to admit nowadays I don't read a lot, to be honest. I'm really bad at reading.
Let's go with that. You being a person of British descent, I'm assuming you're gonna have to like one of two things: either Harry Potter or Doctor Who.
I hate Doctor Who, so.
Wow!
Get
that's
out!
Unexpected.
Does that qualify as racism?
Jesus fucking Christ! Wait, no.
I just don't really get it. It's like whenever I watch it, it always sits in this like weird, uncomfortable spot between being serious and being like deliberately hilariously cringy. And I don't know, I'd just rather it was one or the other. It just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't work for me on any level.
Fair.
Plus I kind of hate how Americans are just obsessed with it because it's British, so I don't know, it feels good. It feels good to hate it.
We're obsessed with everything British.
Exactly.
It's like we said, get the fuck out of my country, and then when you left, we're like, but come back to visit because you're sexy. And that was it. That's what America did.
Well, let's brew our tea, grab some fish and chips, and move to the next question.
What? It's a tea next to me. Never mind.
It's a very quick question for Pencil. Pencil, who is the bottom priest for Enigma?
Wait, to who? I mean, like, if they were in a relationship? What's the question here?
The question is for you, and it says, who is the bottom priest for Enigma?
They're together. Enigma would have to be the bottom because, if we tell him to bend over, he will. If it's between me, I'm not going to do anything sexual to Enigma. The most he's ever getting from me is he might get another face lick. Which means, I guess, against me, Priest would probably be the bottom.
Yay. All right. Moving on to Alex _, who has more questions for Knighty, which is what we're here for. First question to Knighty. What is your funniest anecdote? Just a story you would tell at a bar to make your friends laugh.
Oh man, I can't think. I'm so bad at thinking these on the spot, to be honest. And whenever I do think of them, it's always something that's like a really inside joke and not funny for anyone else. I'm thinking one in my head right now that was really hilarious, but I'm not sure I can tell it in a way that would actually be funny, and it'd probably just be very, very cringy.
Cringe is great. We love cringe. No. We love cringe. Give us cringe.
Well, let's see. Okay, so I had a bunch of friends over from the US a couple of years ago in the summer.
Okay.
And on our first night in a hotel room, we were all pretty quiet guys, right? But we were all in a hotel room together, and it was pretty late at night, and we were making some noise. But we had a guy who came into our room from across the hallway, and we nicknamed him Silent Simon. I don't know why, but we nicknamed him Silent Simon, and he basically just kept complaining about us and saying that he had to be up early the next day for work and blah 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 blah. And he just was a complete pain, basically. And we actually went to a completely different room in the end because we had two different rooms. And there was a point during the night when we actually saw him like walk past the door, and we could see his shadow poking through underneath the door. And it was just like some kind of weird horror movie thing, except it was kind of hilarious at the same time.
This guy's like miserable, and you're like, yes.
Yeah, basically. The stupid thing was, it's like we weren't even being noisy or anything. He was just a complete arsehole, so.
I need complete quiet over here. Some of us are trying to murder.
All right.
I'm sure I could think of some better ones, but yeah, it's difficult on the spot, honestly.
It's no big deal. If you think of one later on you want to tell, we'll go back to it.
Sure.
Number 2. Has being the creator of FimFiction ever got you laid?
Oh man, I wish.
You wish.
That's the answer to that. No, absolutely not. I don't think there's really a whole load of people who find the idea of programming a massive turn on, so no.
Hi, Knighty. How's it going?
Hang on, let me re-say that. Any females who find that particularly interesting?
Okay, you got it.
Someone has to write this story where Bear is attracted to a stallion only because of his programming skills.
It'd be Sweetie Bot.
Sweetie Bot's like, so tell me more about your coding.
So the stallion is just like tagging away on the keyboard, and while the wire is connected to her, she's like crossing her legs and biting her lip.
All right. Number 3.
Let's go on.
If you had to give fanfic admin powers to one of the other people in this chat room right now, the cast, who would it be?
Oh God.
Based on my limited knowledge, that's very difficult to answer.
What we're hearing is you don't trust.
Well, I'm going to say Flutterpriest just because you have Fluttershy on your name, and I think I can trust anyone who thinks Fluttershy is a good pony, to be honest. So.
Aww.
That's a really good choice. Also, considering you just gave it to somebody who kind of worships all of your tech lingo that you're spreading in his general direction.
That was my other reasoning. Yeah, totally.
We're moving to AngularJS, folks. All right.
If you gave me the power, the next day everyone turns on their FimFiction. Is like all the stories are replaced with my dragon tits.
No. All right. Number 4. If FimFiction.net had already been taken, what would have been your second choice of name for the website?
Based on my horrible ability to name things, it would have probably been called like Knighty's fanfiction repository for MyLittlePony.com or something.
What's the acronym for that?
K. No, I can't be bothered to work that out.
Krampus.
Cruddy. Is it Cruddy actually?
I didn't actually even come up with FimFiction, so spoilers.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there a story there?
Well, it was like Midnight Shadow owned FimFiction.com, and I don't think I stole it explicitly. I'm pretty sure I asked him because I don't think I would have just stolen it. And yeah, that's how I ended up with FimFiction. And we actually had FimFiction.com as well at one point, but we don't actually run that domain anymore at all.
Does it just redirect?
Well, it used to be, but now it actually is Midnight Shadows' site, I think now. Let me check. I don't know. I haven't checked in a while. Filmfiction.com.
Good.
Yeah, it's Midnight Shadows' site. So I wonder how many people go there. He has them there saying, you probably want to be over on filmfiction.net.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the origin of that name. Yep.
Now, we have what our fans love as a role play question. So we know there's no role play on FinFiction, but there's definitely role play on this cast. So bear with us for a second as Alex _ takes you for a ride.
Okay.
You are Knighty, creator of FinFiction.net, and you have just died. You were surprised when you were able to open your eyes and move about, and you realized you must be in the afterlife. However, unlike the pearly gates you were expecting, you find that you are actually in purgatory, a place where you must atone for all your mortal sins before your soul is pure enough to ascend to heaven. Every sinner here is punished fittingly. The gluttonous are force-fed until they're close to bursting, usurpers and misers are scalding liquid, gold pulled down their throats. Everyone suffers according to how they sinned. Your punishment, you learn, is for all the terrible fanfictions your site allowed to see the light of day. To atone for this, you must live the perspectives of every character from every terrible fanfic ever published on the site. You must helplessly be a non as his testicles explode. You must suck up to Rainbow Dash's fetid, crusty cunt flakes, and you must fondle Ember's dragon tits, and many other horrors await you. The thought of it terrifies you. Do you reluctantly accept your just punishment, or do you figure that being tortured for all eternity in hell won't nearly be as bad and go there instead?
I feel like there needs to be another rule specified on this, because see, the problem is that there's so much stuff submitted on the site constantly. I don't think it would ever end. You know, there would always be an amount of stuff piling up. So by definition, I couldn't ever leave this purgatory. It would be permanent. So
like
I think
it's hell. It is hell.
It would basically be hell, exactly. So I don't think I have any choice here. It's basically hell or hell. So I'm going to go with hell.
Nailed it.
But, you know, there's always another option, because here on the Barcast, killing yourself is always an option. So you can do that instead.
How would you kill yourself in the afterlife?
Yeah, I'm not sure that works.
Very carefully.
I'm not sure which afterlife you go to after that. The afterlife.
We aren't working by supernatural rules here.
No, it's oblivion. You die in hell, there's no more. So that's also an option for you.
All right. Now we're going to move some questions to Chat Penguin Lips.
Yay!
Who asked question number 1. Who is best princess?
I don't know why I'm thinking about this, actually, because obviously Twilight, so...
Ooh. Hot opinions.
I guess I don't really think of her as a princess, to be honest. It's wrong.
Well, the
it's
next
wrong,
question
man.
will say a lot more.
All right. Who is worst princess? And keep in mind the baby's included.
I probably would have said the baby until like a couple of weeks ago. And the episode was pretty cute, I'm not gonna lie.
The infant.
Yeah. In fact, I'll probably still say the baby there. There's not really much choices there, to be honest. I'm gonna go with the baby.
Another
week for the baby.
Oh!
Yay! Yes!
Does that count as breaking the no cadence streak?
Yes, it does. Take that, love horse. Go die in a fucking trash can like you deserve.
Man, okay. Now, there's a quote that he put here from you.
Mm-hmm.
And he says explicitly, he asked you why you created FinFiction, and you said, and quote, because God hates me. And he apparently thought this was funny. So he wants to counter and ask, why do you think FinFiction is a sign that gods hate you?
Well, I'm surprised he's asking that question, because I thought he would have learned by now. I mean, I can understand if he asked that before he became the story approver, but I would have thought he would have learned by now the exact reason why that means God hates me. Like, I feel like that question's self-answering, to be honest. I mean, obviously it's tongue-in-cheek. I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of awful things on the site, but there's, you know, a lot of really good things as well. So,
oh yeah,
good with the bad.
All right. Next question is: do you deny the Mr. X Niggy? I feel kind of dirty saying this. Niggy?
I know.
How do you say it?
It's Niggy. It's Niggy.
Okay, Niggy, shipping sensation, swooping the nation.
There is another variation of that nickname with an A at the end instead, so just be glad you said the one with a Y.
Milk will do it, not us though. Milk will say that nickname, won't you, Milk? Milk. Milk.
Hold the fuck on! I have to unmute like 3 different things just to talk. Holy shit, nigga, please.
That's all I wanted. Thank you.
But do you deny this sweet shipping?
Well, I can't say I knew about this particular shipping, so it kind of feels like a bit of a non-consensual shipping to me. So I don't know if I'm down with that, to be honest. I'm not really sure where I've seen it sweeping the nation.
Well, then, as a result, I will just simply ask the rumor that's spreading the nation as far as Meester. Is Meester, despite the bad things that some people say about him, a really cool dude?
He is a very cool dude. Hope he's
Awesome.
watching. He's not really, though.
His temperature is so below 0.
All right. Outside of fanfiction, what do you like to do?
Mainly gaming, I guess, to be honest, is my main thing I do. Although a lot less nowadays than I used to. But yeah, I guess that's the main thing I like to do, to be honest. There's some stuff that I would like to do that I don't do. I got into running like a few years ago, and I feel really bad because I kind of dropped off of doing that, to be honest. I haven't really done any running in like a year and a half now or something, so I should really get back on that, to be honest, because I don't know, that kind of made me feel good about myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it was really it was like one of those things where, because I was terrible at the start, right? And I was basically trying to run 5k. So it took me about 9 weeks to do it following this program, but it was really satisfying starting from the beginning where I could literally only run like a minute before running out of breath to be able to run half an hour straight without any problem. So that was a really, really satisfying thing to do, right? You know, it's like no complicated thoughts in that whatsoever. It was just 9 weeks, just improving every single week, and I felt really good about myself doing that. So I would like to get back into doing that. And I'd also like to get into playing the piano, to be honest. I'm kind of semi-musical, but I haven't really done anything in quite a few years, to be honest, and I would really, really like to be able to play the piano at some point. So I'd love to get into that at some point.
All right. You mentioned gaming. The next question has to do with games. Who is best Overwatch hero? And I think by extent, who is your main?
Yeah, I guess there could be different answers to that, couldn't there? I mean,
Yes.
My main is Zarya. I pretty much solely play Zarya, unless I have to swap because someone's not picking support on our team or something.
Right.
But other than that, I guess my favorite. That's a difficult question to answer rather. Do I go based on which ones make my dick the hardest, or which ones have the coolest
Well, I mean,
backstories?
that's mercy. I mean, let's be real here.
Well, I don't know. May, man. I don't know.
Oh, May
May's
is
pretty
May.
good. Yeah, May is May. I don't know. I do really like May as a character, though, so I'm going to say May. Although I hate playing her, so... I hate playing against her, rather, so...
Oh, and playing against her is terrible.
It's pretty awful, yeah. Yeah, but I do like her as a character.
All right. Next question. Chaps acknowledges that you don't write, but if you ever did, what would you write? Or by extension, what is on FimFiction that you want, not on FimFiction that you want to see?
Man, that's probably difficult to think of anything that's actually not on FimFiction by this point, in terms of like general ideas. But I'm really bad at coming up with ideas. But if I did ever write anything, I'd want it to be something that made people think about something. You know, that's kind of my favorite thing in things like movies, for example. I don't know if anyone here has seen the movie Unthinkable. So
I have not.
Jackson movie, but it's basically about the ethics of torturing people or terrorists rather.
Huh.
It's a very interesting movie and kind of, you know, debates both sides of it and kind of leads you to come up with your own ideas about it. And that's the kind of thing that I really enjoy in films and TV and things like that. So if I ever wrote anything, I'd want it to be something that made you think, like some kind of ethical quandary, I guess. That's what I'd like to do. But unfortunately, I don't have any ideas, so probably not likely to happen.
man, I'm gonna take that movie and put it on my to watch list.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. It's one of my favorite movies, actually.
Awesome. Final question from Chapped before we move on to the next guy. Has Enigma asked you to pledge money to his Patreon yet? If he has, are you going to?
No and no.
Oh,
get wrecked.
Yay!
I don't know. It depends what the what do you call it? The rewards are.
Go check out my Patreon to find out.
There are none. There are none, and none that are worth it.
Well, that sounds like a pretty raw deal then, to be honest. I'm not sure why I would.
Knighty, he will feature you on his user page.
Because you need the publicity, right, Knighty?
Oh, definitely.
We need to get you past short skirts.
Liza Claire, by the way, it was the one with the bombs, yeah, but I don't think that... Yeah, they were atom bombs, that's right. But there were like 3 of them, actually. So I guess technically it was not quite out of film, but yeah. It's probably the one you're thinking of.
All right, so now we're going to move to questions from Lieutenant Major Dude, who asked number 1, if you had to ship yourself with someone on the site, who would it be?
I mean, I've already been shipped with Poltron and apparently Meester now. So who else could I use to complete some kind of horrible trinity there? I don't know. I'd like to ship myself with a girl, to be honest. That'd be nice. But
I was gonna say we could ship you with skirts. Then it would be like, yeah, he rose to fame, and what did he do with it?
I've had a lot of people claiming that I am skirts, so I guess that'd be some kind of self-cessed thing. Yeah.
But that's not the case.
Skirts has so many alts. I mean, you know, I could be a skirts alt and no one would know.
We're all skirts alts.
We're secretly all skirts. Yeah, we're all skirts.
Unless proven otherwise, everyone's a skirts alt.
I am Spartacus. I mean short skirts.
Let's go with skirts then.
Yay! I like this. New ship.
So who wears a fursuit between you two?
Stop! Whoa!
Next.
Questions from Dark Chocolate now. You asked Celestia or Luna?
The answer to that kind of depends on which Luna we're talking about, because I like season 1 Luna.
Aww.
Yeah, because she's cute. But actually, I guess to be honest, even now it'd still be Luna. So yeah, Luna.
She just reminded me that she went through like instant puberty in one season.
Yeah, it was a very strange model change that.
All right. Next question is, what ships do you hate the most?
Probably Fluttermac. Pretty high up on the list. Which is
really?
Kind of funny, actually, because Salvation actually has Fluttermac in it, and it's like I have to bite my tongue when reading that.
What? Fluttershy is your favorite character, though. Like,
exactly. Exactly. She shouldn't be shipped with anyone. She should be shipped with anyone.
Oh. Yourself. I see how it is.
Okay. Well, we'll ship you a Fluttershy donkey.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. Straight ships are pretty shit. So, just across the board, straight ships are pretty shit.
Okay. All right. I see what you're doing here. All right. Chanted Library. Just throwing that out there. All right. So, next question is, what's the worst story you have ever read in either comedic value or just poorly written?
I don't think I really have a good answer for that one because I don't tend to read things which I don't think I'll like. I'm very picky about what I even decide to read in the first place. And I think even if I did, I don't know, I don't really like discussing that because it feels kind of tacky considering the fact that I run the site.
Totally understand.
We're tacky. Go for
it. Can we direct Knighty to Shadowblade?
Yeah. No, let's not.
No, we can't. There's like circle jerking in that. We can't do that.
I guess, to be honest, probably the worst story I've ever read is probably My Dardashi, to be honest, if I'm being honest.
What are you talking about? That is the best story ever.
There's a lot of jokes you could have made, and you made the right one.
Rob, I don't know if this is going to make Rob happy or really, really sad, and maybe both, and maybe he'll hate himself for it, but oh God, just sitting there.
Oh, wonderful. All right, now we're gonna. Lisa Claire has a few questions for Short Nights and Explosions. First question is.
That's not the nickname. It's Nerds.
Nerds.
That's their ship name. It's Nerds.
Okay.
Knighty and Scripts. So, Nerds.
First question is, what is the weirdest thing you've seen? And this doesn't even specify on the site, so I mean, go for it. Whatever you want to go.
It's a very, very open-ended question. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of horrible things, like, Goatsy and all those kind of horrible things. But yeah, I'm having a hard time thinking of anything specific to say there, to be honest. I have to see if I can think of something, but I can't think of anything right now, I'm afraid.
Fair enough. Next question is, what is the first PC or equivalent that you had?
Well, when I grew up, I was very much a console gamer. I'm assuming that's the question he's asking. Actually, is that the question he's asking? Or was just asking about?
Yes.
I was thinking he was meaning
just computer
like Apple
equipment,
II,
like Macs. Yeah,
or...
okay. I think that's actually what it's about.
Oh.
Yeah. I just realised that. In that case, it was a what was it? It was a 133 megahertz Pentium 2 computer, I think. And I remember playing like Crystal Maze game on it. I guess you guys wouldn't have any idea what Crystal Maze is, but Professor Plumwell. So that was the first equivalent of PC, I guess I had, which was when I was would have been 11, I think, or something.
Oh wow!
So,
careful, you're dating yourself.
Yeah, I know. I'm old now.
All right.
Rob with computers like all you youngsters. I mean, I guess 11 counts as growing up, to be honest, doesn't it? So.
Now we're going to go to questions from Tony Montana, who starts by asking, who bribed you to be on here?
Well, I think you know the answer to that question.
Yeah, it was definitely me. So question number 2. Do you have any favorite ships that you wish there were more fics of?
I guess there could always be more Flutter Dash fics.
What you're saying is that if we write Flutter... No. What you're saying is that if we write Flutter Dash fics, you'll put it in the featured box. Is that what you're saying?
Sure, why not? Let's go with that.
All right, I'm on top of it,
you heard him.
Can we just write My Little Flutter Dash?
Oh,
you could.
That's
but
terrible.
Do remember, I can ban people.
All right. The next question, we kind of covered a little bit of, they ask explicitly, I heard whispers of the possibility of genfic in the future. What can you tell us about that? Kind of went over that a little bit.
I guess I could talk about I could talk about like some of the feature ideas I have, I guess.
Go for it.
For the tagging system, I've got a lot of ideas. It's I've sort of got them all planned at the moment, but it's very difficult to actually think of how to make them all work, because there's a lot of things that I think would be really cool, but would be very, very difficult to expose to users. Like there's a lot of very complicated search things I could do, for example, but if they're like impossible to like build a UI for that anyone can use, then that's not really useful, right? So it's still kind of in the early planning stages, but some of the things that I would like to fix from other websites in their tagging systems is having things like proper like shipping tags, for example. So like Derpy Brew, for example, has like a Flutter Dash tag, for example, rather than specifically linking Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash tags together to make that ship is something I would like to do. And that wouldn't even be limited to like 2 people ships. You could easily like link multiple tags together to make like 3-way ships, for example, things like that. So that's something I'd like to look at doing, and I'd also like to look at doing something like major and minor tags. So stories can have like a restricted number of major tags, but then any number of minor tags, which maybe like wouldn't affect searching, for example, but would allow people to see a story and say, hey, I can see it's got this and that, so I'm not interested in reading it. So there's a lot of ideas I have for improving tagging systems. And some of the other things I'd like to look at are things like language support. If that one happens, that'll be a long way down the line, to be honest. But I would definitely like to be able to host all different languages, of course. I don't like not being able to do that, but we do have our English restriction because it would be a mess, to be honest, if we didn't have it. Like we've got to restrict it, really. So I'd like to look at doing languages in the future. I've also got the API that I've still got to finish, which is like 99% done. But as with a lot of things that I do, I kind of got to the last 1% and it's like, I don't really care about it anymore. I mean, that's not quite me, but I have a real hard time with finishing things. Like I get like 90% of something done, and I have a really hard time doing the last 10%. So
that's what Zoskwa is for, right?
you know what I'm looking forward to. You know what I'm hoping that GenFig will have?
What?
Like some sort of collab feature thing where if two writers worked on something, there'd be a way for them to either share the story or somehow post the same thing.
Yeah, that's actually something I could do on FilmFiction. I should probably do that, to be honest, at some point soon. I've had that request like quite a few times actually. It's actually not very difficult to do even. It would just, well, there are some parts of it that would be a little bit tricky to do, but at least being able to just display that multiple authors wrote it on the story would be a start, even if it maybe didn't come up in the search for both authors or something.
Like that would probably be difficult to index or something if you're using a common table system or something like that.
Well, with something like Elasticsearch, that would actually be like pretty damn trivial, to be honest, because you just index it with both authors when you were indexing it. So a lot of things like that are actually really easy in Elasticsearch. Like, for example, like the shipping tag, for example, would also be ridiculously easy to store in Elasticsearch. Like the hardest thing about the shipping tags is just thinking of a way to expose them to users in a way that isn't horrible to be able to enter. Because like, a lot of people don't think about the fact that, for example, the UI is going to be able to handle mouse control, it's got to be able to handle keyboard input, it's got to be able to handle touchscreen input, and when you're trying to do all those kind of things for complicated systems, it's really, really hard. Even if the end result doesn't look particularly complicated, like trying to actually think of how to make it work in the first place is really difficult. So that's kind of why these things take a long time.
I'd rather it be done right than,
Well, yeah, that's my kind of opinion on it, because I guess we're getting on to GenFic a lot here.
That's fine. It's going to happen. That's what a lot of people are asking about.
Yeah. And I want people, when they first come along to it, I want them to, have a really good impression, because it's very difficult, coming into a existing space that's occupied by things like fanfiction.net and Wattpad and try and convince people to change the community. Like, your product's got to be not just better, it's got to be way better to make people actually want to move, which is kind of, like what happened with Facebook and MySpace and things like that. So it's got to be really good, basically.
Yeah,
I don't want
you gotta make sure you.
First. Yeah.
I want to see Knighty take out all of the competition. That'd be just the best day.
Speaking of adding things to FilmFiction, Knighty, when am I getting my Ember emoji?
Stop. All right, no.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Besides, those Oscar job anyway, right?
Considering how long people have been asking for a Luna emoticon, it's kind of a bit of a meme, actually, to be honest, that we'll never add a Luna one. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be likely to be an Ember one, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Yay! Fuck you, Enigma!
Get wrecked. All right, so the next question is, what is your impression of, he says us shit posters, but I guess I would say some of the groups on the site, the users of the site, or maybe just us shit posters. I don't know.
No, I think he was just asking, what do you think of us?
I think you're cool dudes and girls.
Aww. Including me?
Am I a cool dude too?
I don't know. It depends on the level of shit posting, to be honest. There's a certain level of shit posting which is a little bit too shit for me.
That's fair. That's totally fair. It's just we've always we've both online and offline we've discussed before that I'm interested he's asking this because we've always been curious, like, well, we're kind of the not safe for work version of Seattle's Angels.
Oh, okay.
No, we're not. But no, it's good to hear. Next question. If you could start FilmFiction over again and do it differently, would you? If so, what would be different?
I think if I was restarting it today, specifically, there are different things that I would do in the coding of it. Like, I would probably be looking more towards doing a single page app type thing, rather than the way the site currently works, which is pretty bog standard site that wouldn't be out of place like 15 years ago, to be honest, for better or worse. So that's something I would do differently. I don't know if there's anything that I would really do massively differently, though. I mean, obviously, I've got things that we changed during the process. Which, if I was going back and doing it now, obviously I would do things the way that we've done them now. Other than that, though, I don't think I'd really do anything particularly differently, to be honest.
What about incorporating like a night mode so it's easier on the eyes? Like
it's really difficult to do something like that because you have to maintain two different styles for the site, and it gets kind of a pain, to be honest. But I don't know if I should talk about this, but I'm actually kind of working on it at the moment. I haven't told anyone about it at all. In fact, I don't think anyone even on the film fiction staff team even knows about this. But I have actually been working on it. But it basically requires me sort of parameterizing every single color and things like that on the site, so that when I want to do the dark theme, I can just change those values and it'll update everything on the site. So it's actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of it and I'll post it in the chat.
You heard it here first.
Oh, wow. Yay for CSS scripts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the problem was that obviously we used to have, what's it called? We used to have like the different themes that you can select, and obviously it was very controversial when I removed those, but it was because it was a mistake to add it in the first place, which is why I'm quite hesitant with this night mode, because I don't want to add something which becomes impossible to maintain and I have to remove it later to everyone's chagrin again and everyone's pissed off at me again. So I'm very wary of making that mistake again, but I've taken a screenshot that uploads Imager and I'll post it in the chat.
You use Imager even though they blocked film fiction.
Well, you can post Imager on the site again now, though.
Oh, you can?
You can't?
Blocked. Yeah, we run all the images through a proxy now, which is Derpy Baru's proxy. So
Wait. When did this happen? Was there a notice about it? Am I just blind and dumb?
No, there's no notice about it. We didn't post anything about it, but yeah.
Yay!
The main reason we did it was so that we could have full SSL on the site. So every page, shows up with that green padlock at the top, which wouldn't be the case if we didn't do that, basically.
That looks wonderful. I am a fan of that.
Yeah, it's hard. I find it very hard doing dark themes though, and I'm not a fan of them, so I'm kind of not even making it for myself. But yeah, I think it's coming out quite nice so far.
I have to use a stylus app to make it all dark for me.
Also, hey Knighty, you got some messages you need to read. Just saying.
only two though. Usually it's much more than that.
I'd believe it. I would believe that.
All right. Next question is, what is your absolute favorite part of film fiction and the fandom in general? We kind of covered that, but is there anything else you want to add?
Sorry, what was that? I didn't quite hear actually.
What is your absolute favorite part of film fiction and the fandom in general?
I guess it depends. Are we talking about content on film fiction or something about the site specifically?
Content, groups.
I guess I could answer both really. As far as groups go, I don't know. I very much appreciate the people who run things like the writers group and the proofreaders groups and things like that, and the art for fan fiction group as well. I think those are like really, really valuable site services. So I'm really, really glad that people run those groups and seem to be doing a good job of it, to be honest, which is why I'm always really happy to promote those groups whenever I can to people who need help.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my favorite things on the site. I think, the fact that people are around who are interested in putting in some time and doing work for others like that and helping people. As far as the site, if I'm talking about actual features and stuff, I think definitely the best thing that I ever did was probably the bookshelf system, to be honest. I was really, really happy with the bookshelf system. I think that was something that, I don't think fanfiction.net has anything like that at all, for example. And I think personally, in my opinion, I think they're like even better than like YouTube playlists, for example, because, you can customize them with icons and things like that, which I think is pretty cool personally. Although there's some bias there, I'm sure. I was always really chuffed with how bookshelves came out, so I don't know how other people feel about those, but that's probably my favorite site thing.
Nice. Next question is, what happened to the banners?
Funnily enough, I finally actually deleted the script which builds the file that we used for banners like 2 days ago. I finally killed them for good. But no, I don't know. I've kind of been through this like a million times with the banners. there was numerous problems with banners, really. I mean, they were nice. Like, I really liked them, but they take up a lot of space on the page for like no reason, and excess bandwidth for no reason, and having to deal with like the banners being different colors and stuff was also a pain. And there was like a lot of reasons for getting rid of them, to be honest. But people have made scripts to bring them back, so whatever. You can always have them back if you want to, anyway.
Right. Let's see. We already kind of covered the next question.
No, Priest. What's the last item on that list of things he asks?
I can see 2 other questions.
Okay. What are your favorite genres?
Oh God, Priest, that's the one you went to? Okay.
No, I'm gonna ask all 3 on that.
All right.
We already covered 1 and 2.
Not gonna lie, it's definitely romance.
Aw.
I'm kind of sapped for that stuff, so
you're a big dumb softy, aren't you?
I am.
Yay.
What are your favorite OCs?
Is that a real question?
Yes.
There's a lot of OCs on this website, man. You have like,
and they're all horrible.
There's Milky Way. There's Ariane.
There's Tracy Cage.
There's Pip,
liking
Little Pip, Nyx, Past Sins. I'm sure.
How about Snowdrop? Since I have a plushie of her.
Hey! I can't see what you see in her, but
well, I don't really actually like her.
I'm noticing a trend that Knighty likes the wings. All the
my
ponies
OC has
like
my OC has wings. Yeah.
Did you say like your wings. OC? Yeah.
Yeah, my OC has wings.
So is that your favorite OC? Your OC?
Sure, why not? I'm a narcissist.
Yay!
All right. And then next question, should you choose to answer it or not? Favorite fetishes?
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not going to answer that question. Sorry.
Okay. No problem. Hey, it's what it is.
They're far too bad. They're far too bad. I'll just say that.
Oh, okay.
They're horrible things like consensual lovemaking for the purpose of procreation with the lights under the covers.
Oh, you fucking monster!
Hoof holding?
Oh yeah, for starters, definitely. And kisses on the cheek.
Stop!
We're moving on.
You sick fuck. Next thing you're gonna tell me is that you like hoof holding.
And sex after marriage.
Oh! Okay, no. We're done. We can't do it. Okay. Pineapples, yes or no?
On pizza or not?
No. I'm guessing it's not on pizza.
In that case, I'm pretty down with pineapples. Pineapples are pretty good.
No.
Okay.
What? You don't like pineapple? Pineapples are great.
Pineapples are awful.
That's
you like pineapple
wrong.
cider so much.
Not so much. I said that it was okay.
You drank all of it.
Oh.
Pineapple with ice cream is amazing.
Yes. Good. That the pineapple consume you.
Pineapple teen.
All right. Next question. Dragon tits, yes or no? Referring to Ember, of course.
I don't know. I think dragons look a bit weird with tits, to be honest.
Yeah, they do because they're not supposed to. Enigma.
I think it's okay if they're like small. It's fine if they're small.
Okay.
They were moderate. They were moderately sized.
Moderate's fine then.
They weren't.
They were.
Is there a picture I'm not aware of or something?
No, there's nothing.
Lots of dragon tits, and we hate him for it.
No. I wrote the Ember story that was featured for 2 weeks straight, and that's apparently what I'm best known for. Apparently.
Oh, you're best known for being shit. Next question.
And faffing yourself. Next question. Who is best princess? We covered that with Twilight. So now we're going to move to a question from Professor Plum.
Oh boy.
Tell them the story of how we first met during the Manchester Gay Pride Parade.
I thought we met during Buck, although I guess, to be honest, they probably have a lot of crossover. Yeah, that was very strange. The fact that so basically there was Buck, which is the UK Brony convention thing, and it was happening in Manchester at the same weekend that the Gay Pride Parade was happening. So there were lots of people in like fursuits and things like that, and there was a lot of very weird crossover, put it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy, that must have not painted a pretty picture for the bronies, did it?
I don't know. I think it would be the other way around, to be honest. Didn't paint a good picture for the gay people, probably.
I can see that. I can see us shitting up their parade.
Exactly.
Plum's other question is, can you please tell us how you spent like $1,000 on a plushie?
Yeah, on 2 different occasions. So yeah, I bought Snowdrop, my Snowdrop plushie at the first Buck convention I went to, and that was like, I guess I converted to dollars. I think that was like $600 or something.
Fuck.
And then I bought a derpy one like a couple of years ago for like $900.
Holy! And you don't have a Fluttershy.
I have like 9 Fluttershy plushies.
Okay.
With that amount of money, you didn't buy them; you adopted them.
It was for charity. It was for charity. So obviously, I wouldn't buy them for that much money, but.
We're throwing down with people who have way too many plushies of a single character. I'm going to point at Priest and his Cadence Shrine.
Hey, I only have 7. It's fine.
How much bigger has the POW gotten, Priest?
It's really not that bad. I have buttons now. So, moving on. Now we have questions from Panzerbrony Metallicom, who I believe is new to here. Welcome. What type of music are you listening to?
I listen to quite a lot of different types of music, to be honest. I really don't like restricting myself to genres, so I kind of am very random with what I listen to, but mostly I like classical music, soundtracks, alt/indie stuff, if we're talking about the way it would be classified. I like that. I like progressive metal. I like some heavy metal. Ooh. I like a lot of electronic stuff, but electronic is so broad that I guess I probably shouldn't really say that I like electronic. It's just certain parts I really like. I like retro wave stuff. I like 80s music. I like, what else do I like?
Ariel?
What was that?
Nothing. I'm being dumb. Continue.
I think that probably covers most of the stuff that I listen to a lot, to be honest. It's kind of all over the place, to be honest. As I said, I like listening to most things, to be honest.
Dream Theater?
I love Dream Theater.
Yeah!
I've been listening to almost nothing but Dream Theater for like the last month, so.
Priest, if you leave me for Knighty, I'm going to be so angry with you.
No. I don't.
It's kind of weird, to be honest, because I hadn't really listened to anything other than Metropolis Part 2 for like, because that was the first album of theirs I ever heard, like, I don't know.
Oh, you started at the
like,
best!
Yeah, I listened to that like 12 years ago or something, probably. Yeah. And I never really got around to listening to any of their other stuff, but I kind of got around to going through all their other albums recently, and yeah, I've just pretty much been sitting with them on loop constantly. I don't really like their new album though.
I don't
like
blame you
in it at all. It's like really not very good.
Systematic.
I'm gonna get left. It's gonna be great.
Systematic Chaos and 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence. That's all I'll say.
Through, and I only have one listen on all of them compared to like, I don't know, like the ones I listen to the most probably recently are like Breaking All Illusions. That's it. I've got 93 plays on that. And
that one's not bad.
Illumination Theory is amazing.
Yes.
Count of Tuscany is amazing.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Pencil.
What?
If Priest comes back to your closet smelling of fish and chips in the River Thames, then you know he's been saying...
Thames! What the fuck? It's Thames.
Oh, the anger, do it!
Is that not how it's pronounced?
It's Thames, yeah. I don't blame you for getting it wrong, though, because no one ever gets it
right. Blame him.
Well, if he comes back smelling of those things, then you know he's seeing Knighty on the side.
Priest, we need to move on because you've been talking about music forever.
Okay. Now it's time for Question with Violence.
Oh.
Do it.
Time for Questions with Violence. There you go.
All right. Question number 1. Knighty, will we ever be blessed with a film fiction app?
That's another one of the things which I got working on and kind of abandoned like 90% of the way in. I was working on an Android app, and it was mainly for like the main functionality I want from it is the ability to read things offline. because pretty much everything else you can do on the mobile site anyway, especially with the update. It's like way improved. Yeah. And the thing is, the way that things are going right now, so I have to speak a little bit more quietly now because it's kind of 1 a.m. here.
No problem.
The way things are going on the web right now is that apps are kind of dying, quote unquote. Like they're not actually dying, but the amount of uptick on them has really dropped off on mobile apps. Like people don't want to have to download apps, and web browsers are getting more and more powerful. So I can guarantee you that in like maybe 10 years or something at most, like there won't really be such a thing as native apps anymore, which means that I'm not really particularly interested in actually developing a native app that will become obsolete essentially. So I'd much rather spend time on making the actual mobile site really good and basically be as good as an app would actually be. Because as the browsers get better, they're getting more features like the ability to actually save pages offline and stuff. So even those offline features, I might be able to actually do on the website itself. So if I can do all those things on if I can do all those things on the mobile site instead of an app, it means that I only have one code base to worry about instead of 3 or 4 if I wanted to support Windows Phone as well, for example. That it's just very difficult to try and support all those platforms. So I'd much rather spend the time on, the mobile site, which can be experienced by everyone rather than just maybe like Android users.
Focus on browser compatibility.
But yeah. By the way, speaking of the update you did, you got rid of the live feature count thing.
That was because that should be coming back, to be honest. I don't know why it's still off, to be honest. The only reason why it was taken off was because of the fact that the script was it was hanging, trying to load, which meant it made the page wait for 30 seconds before it actually timed out. So that could be turned on right now and it should be fine. But we kind of want to do a better solution for it though.
Could you add a little high score thing where it shows the most amount of people reading at one time?
No,
that'd probably be kind of cool, I guess, but it's just not really worth the time, I guess, to be honest. Also, actually, it'd be quite difficult to do as well because of the fact that it's all client side, so I don't have any records of it on the site. So
yeah, it would have to be asynchronous.
Yeah, exactly. There are some complications to actually doing that at all. So yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
Okay. Moving on to more Vylon questions. What genres do you think are unpopular but you'd like to see more of?
We already answered that.
I don't think we did, really. Maybe we kind of touched on it a little bit. But
okay.
I don't really know what genres are unpopular, to be honest. I mean, I guess the easiest thing to do would be to just look at the numbers and stories in each category. But yeah, probably things like the new ones we added are not super popular. I don't know, mystery stories and things like that probably aren't super popular because they're quite difficult to write, I imagine, compared to a lot of ones. So, but I don't know if I could say that I want to see more of them because it's not really something I'm interested in anyway. So, yeah, I guess that's all I have to say on that particular matter.
Right. Next question. Would you like to be the pre-reader of a clot fic titled Knighty in Shining Armor?
I know exactly where that story would go.
I like that pun, by the way. That is a great pun.
I think Rod has cover for that already.
Would I like to pre-read it? Sure, why not?
Yay!
All right.
Next question. Less than 5,000 words.
Next question from Vylon. We're getting to these signature Vylon questions now. Would you rather have a botfly maggot in your testicles or a tapeworm in your eyeballs?
I guess that depends on whether I value my balls over my eyes or vice versa. I think I value my eyes more, to be honest. Being rational here. So I'm gonna have to go with the whatever the one was in the, what was it?
Botfly.
Yeah, botfly. Let's go with the botfly.
All right.
Also, you can accomplish a lot with one testicle. I mean, look at Hitler.
There we go.
Anyway. Here we go.
All right. Now it's time for the 2 roleplay questions. You are finally in bed with the mare of your dreams, Fluttershy, and you are worshiping her by your head to her crotch when you fish out a chunk of carrot with your tongue. She does taste like salad, and the idea turns you on, so you happily eat it. When you fish out a piece of lettuce and a slice of tomato, you conclude that she literally has salad in her. You stop to ask her about it. Her giggles are heaven to your ears. Oh, sorry, the last stallion was drunk and threw up in there. Are you happy to clean your waifu, or will you add to the mix?
Oh, God.
Nylon. Who hurt you?
Oh my God.
I don't even know what to say.
We tried.
I guess I'd have to ask her which one would make her the happiest. And do that.
Oh, that's sweet somehow. How did you get sweet out of that?
All right, final violent question. This is the hardest one. We actually shared this. We actually shared this one at our BabsCon panel. So here we go. You, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna do this. You are a rapist, and you have cornered Fluttershy into an alley. She cowers before you, ears down, eyes brimming with tears, forelegs tucked on her chest, and a bruise on her side where you batted her out of the air with a pole when she tried to fly. You hear her weakly mumble a repeated apology through sobs, but you ignore that, because prey don't talk. She prays, squeaks in fright when you grab her with muscular arms and starts whimpering in tears when you glare at her in your grasp. You really think that's cute. You yank her tail out of the way and violently thrust into her. Ah! She screams, please don't rape me! You can't scrub the smug smirk off your face.
My God.
You roar in laughter. Too bad I already did. Fluttershy stops crying and looks at you incredulously. Wait, is it in already? She wiggles herself further into your crotch. You feel all the feels. Will you fist fuck her to show your dominance or run away in shame and embarrassment?
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Pass is totally acceptable.
Yeah, I could think of ways to work the other two, but I'm not really sure I have a good answer for this one.
That's fine. Let's go to explosions. Explosion has... we're going to go to explosions.
Please don't ban us.
First question is, can you be my daddy? Wow, okay. This is what we deal with every week.
Probably not, I don't think, to be honest. I'm sorry.
Yay! Next question.
See, I want to apologize more, but these are the users on your site.
Yeah, I should be apologizing to you, I guess. Apologizing to myself.
Next question. You are your favorite waifu pwn. What do?
What's the PG answer to this? I don't know.
First,
Can I think of the non-PG answer?
Don't.
Take care of animals.
Yeah, there we go. Let's go with that. Take care of animals.
Sexually.
To be honest, yeah, I was gonna say, you could definitely take that wrongly.
It actually kind of sounds like you're ready to euthanize these animals.
Oh, that's horrible. Mad Max the Black, get on top of it. Actually, no, Megapone, get on top of that.
Did you just tell Mad Max the Black to get on top of you?
No.
Are you sure?
Next question. Oh, man. Okay, so we got another story question. You are no longer waifu pwn, Fluttershy, but now Biggles, the most fearsome, deadly creature in the Everfree. You spend your time ripping through caravans foolish enough to try and trek through the Everfree, often leaving large gore stains among the battlefield. When not doing that, you are busy milking the cow of ever-flowing milk and bathing yourself in quote-unquote her glory. One day the cow is gone, and along with it are your hopes and dreams. You spend one day weeping vehemently for the loss of everything of the ever-flowing gooey white substance known as milk. What the? Okay. And you crying, you notice a trail of cow-like hoof prints and, with a vengeful rage, sprint after the trail, vowing to slay he who dared take your cow. At the end of the trail, you happen upon a single rabbit who claims to be the killer rabbit of Carabanog and will let the cow go if you answer one question correctly. When the clock stops and time shall end, you will and all your love will be gone. What is it then that you desire to have done before the clock comes, or rather, before time stops coming and ceases to exist? Is this a reference?
It sounds like a very long-winded way of asking, what do you want to do before you die?
Yeah. So what do you want to do before you die, Knighty?
I want to... I don't know, really.
Genfic.
I'd like to think there's something more exciting I could do there. This is going to sound really, really stupid, but in the back of my mind, every now and again, I sometimes want to say that I've climbed Everest. I don't know why, because it's like never ever going to happen. It's 100% never going to happen. But for some reason, I would love to be able to say I've done that. But yeah, it's not realistically going to happen. Yeah.
You have to jump.
I'm going to say that anyway.
You're going to have to start running again.
Exactly.
Either climb it or become one of its other morbid markers.
Exactly. Well, I don't know how much happens nowadays. I think there's
so much. No, so much. I've written an article about that. Every year, tens of people die on Everest. So yeah, no, don't do that.
Now we have a question from Cherished, who has a really wonderful Nazi symbol as a profile picture. Good job, good for you. Is this episode going to include an hour-long Loot Crate advertisement? No, we don't take money for this podcast. We just do it for fun. Now, questions from Totally Not a Brony. Whatever happened to the old crowd? It seems like you're the only one left. Naturally, you're user number 1. The next 10 accounts don't exist. Then someone named PY was user number 12. Users 16 and 17 have been offline for more than 2,000 weeks. Sithisto is 18. Pinky Lestia is 25 and holds the honor of second oldest active account. I don't remember where I was going with this. So what are some interesting things you noticed about the site metadata?
Well, regarding those other user accounts, it's probably just accounts that I made during testing, right? So they increment the auto increment ID in the database, and then whoever was the first person to sign up was, I guess it was Pi, who was a friend of mine from before Ponies. He was actually went by another name on the site as well, but I don't know if it was ever linked, so I shouldn't say that. But it was a famous user, put it that way. Yeah, that's what I'll say on that matter. Let's see what else was in that question. I'm rereading it, sorry. What are some interesting things you've noticed about site metadata? I don't really know if there's anything like particularly interesting about it. Like most of it's pretty bog standard, to be honest. I mean, I always get that question, right? Like same with groups as well, because I think the shipping group is ID number 3, but it's like the first group on the site, because I'd obviously made like 2 other ones before actually making the shipping one, and they just got deleted or something. But I guess I wouldn't really qualify that as interesting. So that's not really going to answer that question. It's just a quirk of, databases. Yeah, I'm not really sure where I was going with that. I don't think there's anything really massively interesting. Like I just quickly threw open the statistics page, for example, and I guess you could say, it's always interesting seeing how things are affected by new episode release and stuff. Like, for example, there's always an uptick in blog posts, obviously, whenever we're in season. Like, stories don't tend to vary a whole lot depending on whether we're in season or not, but blog posts do, because obviously everyone starts posting about the episodes.
Right.
So, again, not really sure that qualifies as particularly interesting. It's kind of obvious, but yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, and maybe this would be interesting. On the whole, on an overall basis, is the site trending upward or downward?
Down.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I think is pretty obvious, to be honest. I mean, you can look at it yourself. You can just go on the statistics page and you can see how things are going down. But it's still pretty good, Like, we used to get about 2.2 million hits a day, like 2-3 years ago. And now we get like 1.7 or so. So it's dropped by like maybe like 15-20% or something, but it's still going pretty well.
That's still not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, considering it's been like so long, it's just doing all right.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to RK Striker JK5, who we've already asked the first question. So how did you choose your username?
My username is actually a nickname of my old nickname, funnily enough. So my original nickname was Knight33, and anyone who's ever sent me an email to my personal email will know that, because my Gmail is knight33@gmail.com. And the
time for all of the spam.
Well, it's posted all over the place anyway, so.
Okay.
But basically the origin of that one was, there was a time at school when I was a kid, and I was saying the word knight, because I think we were talking about Final Fantasy or something, and I just said it in like a really stupid way. I said knight for some reason, and it just became like a thing that people joked with me, and I just kind of adopted it as my nickname, and 33 was like the house number of my old house. And then I switched to Knighty because people just always called me Knighty instead of like 33. So I was like, yeah, might as well go with it. So if in 5 years my name is Niggy, that's why as well.
No, your new name should be the Knight of the Tame River.
How do you say that? How do you say that name of that river again?
Thames.
Okay, so next question.
You're killing me inside, man.
Yeah, no, right? He does it to me every day. Every day.
All right, so the next question. Is it nighty night for Knighty? Tune in. Same bat time, same bat channel.
That's not a question, Priest.
I know. So we're going to move to questions from Smith. Question number 1. Are you still having fun with ponies?
Probably less so than like 5 years ago, but yeah, I guess I would still say I still am. I still enjoy watching the episodes. I don't think the show's anywhere near as good as it used to be, but that's just me being grumpy, probably.
Nope, you're right. It's okay.
But yeah, I'd say I still have fun with it. It's still pretty much my social life and my work life, so there we go.
That's depressing and wonderful.
Yeah. Mainly depressing.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Why did you change avatars? Or why do you change avatars?
Yeah, I'm not really sure when that's referring to exactly, because I've been using the same suitable avatar for literally 5.5 years now, so...
All right.
Yeah. I did change it once to Plus Shy at some point, last year or something, I think. But other than that, it's kind of become a running joke with people I know that I've literally been using the same avatar for 5 years. So.
Well, that's what we'll see on April 1st. Obviously, we'll see Knighty Shy emerge from the depths.
Oh, definitely.
All right. Number 3. We do have that. The live reader count should be coming back soon. Number 4. Where's my bedroom eyes Luna emote? We already kind of covered that. Man, we got it.
Yeah.
Now we got questions from Shakespeare-Cles, and we're off to a running start because night mode went, and you actually showed it off. So cool. Number 2, new character tags when?
I guess I'm not really sure which one he's referring to. I think we've pretty much covered them all now, although I've now got to add new ones for, well, I don't know, is it spoiler to talk about the leaked episodes on here?
Yeah, it's kind of spoilery, but just you can say that there are some new ones that need to be added.
Yeah, there are some new ones that need to be added from there. So there's a little done eventually.
Or maybe the movie.
Strongheart, Stephen Magnet.
I'm pretty sure we have both of those.
No, you don't.
Don't we?
Wait, maybe Stephen Magnet, but I don't think you have Little Strongheart.
Oh, I think we do. I swear I remember adding that. Let's have a look. Strong. Okay, yeah, you're right. We don't. No, we do. No, we do. We do have her.
Yes,
She's
eat a dick, Enigma.
Pippi Longstocking, isn't he?
We don't have that.
Oh.
Why are we just asking these random specific emojis?
I thought her name. Wait, I thought her name was Lily Longsocks.
That's what I meant.
Anyway.
All right, moving on. Question number 3. New emotes when?
Probably never, to be honest, because of the fact that I don't really like any of the other ones I've seen around the internet. This set of them is the only ones I ever liked, to be honest, and the person who did them isn't probably ever going to make any more. So, although we are adding emoji support, so that's something that will be happening with the update.
There's actually
there's actually some emoji support already, and I'm surprised no one has actually noticed it. But for example, the shipping group, no one's commented on it yet, but I actually put an emoji in the title of the shipping group. But yeah, I guess.
Really?
I saw. How did no one else? I was like, hey, look, there's a little heart. Yay!
So yeah, there are some places where you can use emojis because basically we've got to upgrade the database, and some parts of it have already been upgraded. So you can currently use emojis in group names, thread titles. There's a couple of other things I'm forgetting now, but you can't use them in stories or comments or anything like that yet. But yeah, there's just a handful of places where you can use them currently, but that will be coming to everywhere eventually.
That will cut out some serious work for you guys, for your story approvers. Just here's just a story of emojis.
Emoji stories. Well, there was that joke blog post I posted a few months ago or something. The Mozilla one. I don't know if you guys saw that. There was they made their horrible new logo for Mozilla, and I made a joke post about it.
Oh, yeah.
And part of that involved emoji stories. So, yeah, I guess I predicted the future with that. So,
gosh, what would be worse, screen text or emoji stories?
I don't know. Both are so awful. It's like I don't know what to pick, to be honest.
Oh.
Question.
All right, number 4. Are you going to BronyCon?
I'm not going to BronyCon, no.
Hooray! Next question.
Number 5. There are a lot of ways to deal with writer's block. What is your way?
I don't know if I can relate to this since I don't write stories.
Oh.
I don't know if there's really a writer's block with code. I guess there kind of is. Like sometimes I just can't be bothered to work on anything. Like I get frustrated and
the solution is that you crawl into your Fluttershy fursuit and just start typing with your big hooves.
I think
make some great code.
I think this is relevant because the next question is: are you going to actually use that method and write something?
I think it might take a little while. It'll be a little bit difficult.
All right. Number 7 is Shakespeare-Cleese is offering to write you a clopfic. It can be any pairing as long as it's Twilight and Shining.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Read it again. I think I misheard.
Shakespeare-Cleese is offering to write you a clopfic, but it can be any pairing as long as it is Twilight and Shining.
I did hear it right then. Yeah, I guess that's fairly limiting in terms of every ship, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he also made you a meme.
So Twilight Shining and Smarty Pants.
Oh dear.
All right. So now questions from the other guy.
Hypothetically guy.
Yep. Hypothetically speaking, how creepy would it be if I were in your home right now? Also, I need to pee. Where's the bathroom?
It would be pretty damn creepy, I'd have to say. But the bathroom is pretty close to me, so I guess I could lock you in there.
Nice.
Hey, why does your bathroom lock from the outside?
That's a good point. Shut up. I was hoping no one would notice that I'd made a horrible mistake with that.
Okay.
I was moving on.
Moving on. We don't want to know what an ultra band is like.
No, ultra band, please. You'd be the first.
I could hold the handle up, okay? I could hold the handle up, that'll do.
Okay. Next question is: Have you ever heard the kettle whistle at you? And you look at it and it's all hot and steamy, so you take off your pants and put your dick. What the fuck?
Yeah, I've just read the rest of that question. Yeah, I can't say I've ever thought that, to be honest.
Okay.
But you're British. I thought all British people want to fuck kettles.
I think you've heard wrongly on that front, to be honest.
Oh, man.
It'd definitely be very hot and steamy, but not the good kind of hot and steamy, I don't think.
No.
Like the kind of go to hospital hot and steamy.
Well, hospital sex is great too, so there you go.
So why did you come in, sir, with a scalding dick?
Because I'm British.
Whistled at me.
Yeah.
Too hot? Hot damn.
Next, right. I'm sorry.
To the cast, will the Barcast be able to make any money for charity with the adpocalypse? Very good point. So we do run ads on YouTube. The idea is that if we made any money from it, it would go towards charity. YouTube's made a crazy change that makes us unable to make any sort of viable profit off YouTube, and that's fine. We weren't in this for the money anyway, so we're going to try and find some other ways to raise some good money for charity and have it make a good impression on bronies and the fandom. So we're going to think of some other ways. Stay tuned. Moving on to question.
Horse charity.
It's true. We're going to adopt a horse, and that horse won't know what's coming. So we're moving to questions now from Dustchew, who asks, why the name Knighty? We already asked that. New emotes. Man, you get this all the time, don't you?
Yep. As I said, it's kind of a joke with the Luna one, so...
Oh my god!
In fact, yeah, he mentions Luna there, yeah.
And the next one is, how hard would it be to add a feature that allows you to give the site a darker theme?
Wow, we really have covered all this.
I guess the only other question here is, are you an actual knight?
No, sadly not. As much as I'd love to be. I hate to disappoint people, but yeah, I'm afraid I'm not actually a knight.
have a visit with the Queen, become Sir Knighty.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can really get knighted for running a fanfiction website.
You can try.
I can probably try, but yeah, I have a feeling it probably won't work, to be honest.
I can see that.
Form a petition.
Yeah.
Recognition for fanfiction site runners.
People would sign it too.
Probably not the 100,000 it would need to get investigated over here, though. So.
All right, now we have questions from Trickster Forrester. Would you rather face death by Snoo Snoo, death by Boo Boo, death by Moo Moo, death by Poo Poo, death by Hoodoo, death by Lulu, death by Choo Choo, death by Cuckoo, or death by beheading?
What is Lulu? That's my question. Is it like a very sexy lady?
The only Lulu I know is or Luna.
Luna. It's Luna.
Specifically, young
okay.
Luna.
Yeah. Luna.
Oh, in that case, let's go with Lulu then. Yeah, sure.
Nailed it. The next one is the question that we all talked prior to this podcast. We weren't sure whether this breaks site rules or not. What are your thoughts on this phallic-looking produce?
I'm looking at it right now. And,
it's a dick potato. It is what it is.
Does it count as too lewd for the site? Like, I'm actually confused. Is this content that we should not have?
I think it's probably okay. I mean, the thing is, it's not for my benefit, right? It's AdSense, so I don't care what anyone posts, but I have to make sure it's allowable by AdSense. But I think that's probably okay. I don't think you could legitimately make a fucking potato actually not safe for work.
That is a fucking potato. So
yeah. Quite literally.
It's a literal fucking potato.
Yeah, that's a little bit disturbing, isn't it? I want to know how they grew that. I don't know how a potato grows like that. I guess it's like multiple potatoes. Looks like. I don't know.
Next.
We'll move to questions from Cuber Snuggles, who asks, first and foremost, have you had anyone say nighty night to you before?
No one's ever made that pun before. I can't believe you're the first person to think up that pun.
Is that sarcasm?
No, that's just very much sarcasm. People say all the fucking.
It was said earlier in the thread.
Every single time I talk to someone new, they do that to me. Every single time. I'm not even lying. It's literally every single time someone says that.
Oh.
Poor baby. I'm sorry.
I know. It's horrible, isn't it? It's a hard life.
The next question. If you had the chance to meet the Mean Six.
Mean Six, okay.
The Mean Six. Would you tell them about your website?
God, no.
They're mean.
I love this podcast.
Like, Twilight would make fun of your programming skills and...
Fluttershy would just probably die, to be honest, of all the horrible things written about her. Dash would probably, I don't know, she'd probably be into all the lesbian stories, to be honest, I think. And Pinky would just shitpost all over the place. And Rarity would be bitching about where the banners have gone and why she can't style the site.
Accurate.
But then Dash would just be like, I have the most views on this site.
And Applejack would just be like, I don't know how to use computers because I'm a country bumpkin.
He's not going to do an American accent, even only for a moment. We didn't have to ask him. We didn't have to ask him, and you did it anyway. I'm very happy. I love it when Brent's trying to do American accent.
I try to avoid it as much as possible because I cannot do it.
No, it's wonderful. You did great. I'm serious.
I wish I could read.
It's the funny thing because it's like to British people, I don't know if everyone else would agree with me, but like generally American accents are very neutral. So whenever I think of an American accent, the only thing I can think of is like a southern drawl. That's it.
You did it. You did it.
It's like when Americans think of Brits, every Brit's like either Cockney or, well, I guess pretty much every Brit is Cockney. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or they're high society snooty.
Yeah. I lean on that side a little bit more, but yeah. I speak proper English, like.
All right. Next question is 3 minutes and a question. What you gonna do?
Oh my god, so many horrible things. I don't know. Can I finish in 3 minutes? That's the question I had.
So many mares, so little rape.
Oh, what happened? We got Knighty to say that. We have that recorded. It happened. Next question, please.
Joke's on us. We're gonna get banned. Next.
Double banned.
If Discord had a Discord, would Discord name his Discord? How discorded would Discord's Discord be? Ugh.
Pretty discorded, I guess, to be honest.
Nice. Now a question from Snowy B. Is the site more or less sane than it was 4 years ago?
I would definitely say less sane, probably, just because of just by virtue of the fact that there's a lot less actual pony content on the site now. Because more of it's community now. So I guess there's a lot more insane people probably that have accumulated over time. So yeah, probably a lot less sane. All right, now questions from Fluffy Unicorns. I think the question that everyone's asking right now: how do you feel? Feeling good, man. Very, very tired though. Like it's 2 a.m. now, so I'm pretty fucking tired.
We're almost done. We'll let you go to bed. All right. Next question: do you record the data of FemFic users? The statistical data, age, profession, gender, story preferences available, and if so, is it readable? No.
So
I'm not the NSA. No.
But did they hire you?
There's only one thing that we record, and they actually didn't mention it in that list at all, which is location, and that's just by virtue of the fact that we record IPs, and IPs you can get location from. So, but other than that, we don't collect anything. Like I don't really like the idea of collecting data that I don't have to. So yeah, I'm not interested in collecting things like age or gender. I mean, I might add a gender one at some point down the line, but I don't think it's really necessary, honestly. If people want to write that, they can, just write it in their bio or something if they want to. So.
Everyone will lie. Every single person will lie.
Everyone's 14/F/Callie.
Feel when at one point you were
all right. Let's see. I don't know how quite to read this question, so I'm going to take the last part of that one. Moderators for the website, are they volunteers or do you pay them?
They're volunteers, yeah. I mean, it's like, I think it would be very difficult legally for paying, because I feel like if you start paying people, then you actually probably should be paying them like minimum wage at least or something. I'm not really sure how it works out legally, so, and I think that's kind of the reason why most sites that have moderation positions that are open to anyone, they run them as purely volunteers and never pay. It's like not out of a sense of, I don't want to pay you and it's not worth anything. It's just, I think it's legally difficult, to be honest. So yeah, it's purely volunteer basis. But because of the fact it's purely volunteer, I also don't really I don't want to be a slave driver, so if people don't do things, I don't try and force them to do things. I let everyone just do whatever they want whenever they've got a chance. So.
Right. But everything's still good with Obs, even though he stepped down, right?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yay!
It's just he didn't have time for it anymore, to be honest, so, yeah.
All right. Let's see. We are not going to ask numbers questions, so I'm skipping that. What do you think of the Not Safe for Work part of the website?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, there is a reason why my bookshelves are hidden, so I'm just saying.
All right. The next question is, which ponies would you hug? But I think a better question is, which ponies wouldn't you hug?
Yeah, I don't think there are any I wouldn't, to be honest. I mean, other than the males. Obviously, I'm not going to hug any of the males. That's gay. But yeah, I think I'd probably hug all the lady ponies.
So you won't hug Jellypone?
Jellypone? Which one's that?
Food ponies.
The guy who was in the tub of jelly during Sweetie Belle's song.
Oh.
That's a very specific thing. What the shit's wrong with you?
That is very specific.
What the actual fuck is wrong? Enigma, we do not have time for your fuckery. Next.
let's see. Now we have a question from Arconix.
Hey, you missed one question I want to know the answer to.
Okay. The final question from Fluffy Unicorns is, why the hell are you in this podcast? Have you even read Pencil Stories?
Probably because I was bribed, emotionally bribed and blackmailed by Flutter Priest.
Yes.
If you don't come to my cast, I'm not going to go visit you.
But Knighty, have you ever read any of my stories?
I have not. Sorry.
I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Have you read any of mine?
I don't think I've read any of you guys' stories.
I'm really proud of you. I'm so proud of you. That's fine. That's all I want.
It's not a problem. I write entirely anon, and it's all shit anyway. So,
actually, I think I might have read some of yours. Actually, Flutter Priest. I think. I'm not sure. I
don't know how to feel about this. We're moving on to Arconix.
Both of you, just go get a room already.
Yeah, seriously.
We can talk about Node.js for hours. All right. If you could destroy one city in the UK, why would it be Birmingham? And please provide detailed plans on how you would achieve this.
The funny thing is, when I was reading through this thread earlier, and I started reading that question, I was thinking Birmingham before he even wrote Birmingham down there. I'm not even joking. I'm actually 100% serious. I was thinking of Birmingham before I even read it. Detailed plans for how to destroy it. Oh. That's a bit sadistic, isn't it? I don't know. Lots of horrible things, put that way. But yes, fuck Birmingham. That's all I have to say.
Excellent. And you heard it from Knighty here. That'll be the quote for the podcast. Fuck Birmingham.
All right. We're running close on time, but I'm going to try and get through the rest of these as quick as I can. Cyberphase on GOTDM asks, would you a thing pony? You may have to get the picture, Pencil.
I got it.
So a picture is to go. This is a.
There's a specific picture, and
it's an OC. Are you aware of John Carpenter's The Thing?
I'm aware of it, but yeah, only aware of it. That's all.
So hold on, I got the picture. And the question is, would you put your dick in this?
Let's have a look. Jesus Christ, which part?
Surprise me.
Excellent. Good answer. Next.
How about food ponies?
Yeah, I'm pretty down with food ponies.
All right. Which food pony would you marry?
The chocolate ones. Can I have a chocolate one?
Yes.
Nice. I'll take that one then.
You can never go to the beach with them; they'll melt.
And in fact, I don't think there'll be much left of them after like the first couple of weeks either. So that also could be a problem.
Let's see.
Can they like grow back food or anything?
Yeah, they regen. Food pones regen.
Oh,
that's the question we always keep coming back to.
They do. They regen. Okay.
You just bite them and they scream. All right.
Next question.
Number 4 is, what would be best food pone ship?
Difficult to answer. Can I just say chocolate and chocolate, to be honest? Because I'll be pretty down with that. Just more chocolate.
I love it.
I'll accept that, but I'm mentally in my head changing it to chocolate and peanut butter. So.
Oh, I hate peanut butter though.
Milk chocolate and dark chocolate.
This isn't gonna work, Knighty. All right. Number 5 is a marry, fuck, kill scenario, and of course, here on the Barcast, killing yourself is always an option instead of any of the other 3. Between Luna, Twilight, and Cadence before marriage.
I'd probably marry Twilight, fuck Luna, and kill Cadence.
Right answer. Correct answer. You win. All of the wins.
All right. Final question that we have time to get to. If Knight... Ooh, that's...
Yeah, I'm having trouble reading that next one.
I would give you a toll question instead, because they're the last person.
Okay. Let's see. What is your favorite human in Equestria story?
I can't say I've really read many human in Equestria stories.
My Little Dashie.
Yeah, there we go. Let's go with My Little Dashie. But it's de facto the favourite one because the only one I've read. Actually, no, that's a lie. I've actually read quite a lot of non-Equestria ones, I guess. It's just they're all ones I'd rather not talk about.
Well, you have read my stories.
Okay, well, we'll just take that, and that will be the ending line. So thank you for watching this edition of the Barcast. Knighty, it was an absolute joy to have you on.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're not that scary.
Hope I was entertaining enough.
Hopefully this does some good things to kind of show everyone that you're a nice, personable guy.
Yes.
Oh, hi, Rob Cakrin53.
Great. We invoked the name of My Little Dashy and we summoned him.
Who dare?
We were just talking about how it's a great story, and it's definitely not the story I mentioned earlier. That was the worst story I ever read. Oh, he left.
Perfect.
Thank you for watching the Barcast. Your bartenders for this evening have been Anon Pencil.
I didn't get Ultra Banned yet. Hey!
Enigmatic Otaku.
Knighty, can I please have free Fimpic gold?
Milk.
No.
Night.
And of course, my name is Flutter Priest, and of course we had Knighty.
Hello. Bye.
Have a nighty night, everyone.
Oh my fucking god! You're an actual piece of shit! How dare you! I'm so sorry, Naughty. Please don't kill us.